All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. This is for episode 5 now. It is called The End of Everything. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys have not seen this episode yet for Fear the Walking Dead. This episode was gay in a lot of ways. I guess this episode was directed by Wayne Callies, who of course played Lori in the original Walking Dead series. So you guys knew I was not going to like the episode, right? You knew it right away. Trev's not going to like this one. It's directed by Lori. It's pretty much predictable, right? Oh, so predictable, Trev. You didn't like it because Lori directed it. Pretty much that's the case. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so the episode, it's okay. So spoiler warning, it's an episode that focuses just around Althea and our person from the helicopter community or the helicopter group, which is revealed. Happy is the nickname that she's given at first, and then later is revealed to be Isabelle. So you can kind of see it forming as the episode goes through. Basically, you have Al, who's been captured by Isabelle from Indiana, a member of the Commonwealth or helicopter group, one of their soldiers. And basically, as the episode goes through, they kind of fall in love, I guess. That's basically it. We get to see some cool things in it. We get to see rock climbing with zombies, which is something we've never seen before. We get some back and forth stuff going on between the two of kind of who's in control. First, you have, of course, Al having been tased by Isabelle before. And then kind of you have back and forth and, kind of a struggle here between, who's got the gun and who's in charge, and Al saying she doesn't take orders from her, and Al kind of escaping when she's tied up and this kind of thing, which she's very good at. She's been going around, of course, getting people's story for a long time now. She's got this obsession, or she views it as her purpose. And so she's gotten very good over time at breaking out of bonds and this kind of deal. Kind of reminds me back of like Season 3 of The Walking Dead with Merle, who's talking about, you gotta use wire. Nothing don't use rope. Nothing she'll chew through. And in this one, we get to see Al kind of breaking out and using barbed wire and being able to loosen her bonds and escape from Isabelle's control. But it's back and forth. It's kind of a bit of a love-hate type of deal as we're going through here, and Al not being sure once she finds out some information of whether or not Isabelle is going to actually kill her because of their protocol or their secrecy that they keep, their security. And that's another thing too as well, like Michonne's kind of got the security approach in The Walking Dead Season 9. So we find out in this one basically that the helicopter group or the Commonwealth, if that's who they are, they're big on security, and we also get some more information that once someone is brought in, they are not ever allowed to leave. So this sort of explains for us why once Rick is taken by the helicopter group, we never see him afterwards again. So he's taken by them, and then we get over like 6 years. It's closer, I think, to after all the time skips in Season 9, would be over like 7 years, and he never returned to the original group. In this episode, we kind of get to find out why, and that is that they're not allowed to leave. Whoever comes in and kind of joins the group of the helicopter group, they're never allowed to be able to go again. If it's the Commonwealth, if it's an evil version of the Commonwealth, then that's what it is. She also informs Al that if you see it, or if you see them, basically run, because they're not they're not good people. And she's got some kind of payload in this one. They have to refuel by climbing up to the top of this mountain in order to get the fuel from the drop, and then they're able to leave. And in kind of a twist at the end, sort of, Isabelle allows Al to leave because she reveals that she has feelings for her, right? And you get the scene. And then the title of the episode, The End of Everything. So she likes Al. Okay, let's just say that. She likes Al. They're, I don't know, whatever. I kind of figured that Al might be gay anyway. And so you get her, and then you get this kind of masculine soldier and female soldier, and it works out, and you get to see that at the end of the episode. So it is what it is. It's part where they're drinking beer and so that's fun. Probably maybe the most exciting part is the turnaround part where you're not sure, and it did leave me with that sense too. Like, could at least I questioned it. Like, could she shoot Al right here and that be it for Al, and Al actually die? But no, it's revealed that she has feelings for her, so she can't do it, and she just had to kill her partner before, so she doesn't want to kind of do this. And then at the end, we get to see Al reunited with Morgan and reunited with Alicia. We see the helicopter take off, so it sort of syncs up with our timeline for Fear the Walking Dead with what was happening in episode 4. With episode 4 near the end there, you see the helicopter take off, so it kind of links up at that point, and we see what Al has been up to in the meantime, which is basically helping Isabelle get the fuel, do the rock climbing thing, and kill the rock climber zombie, which I don't know how someone would die as they're just on the side of and turn into a zombie, but okay, maybe stranded there or something, I don't know, and starved or something and died. So that's kind of it. So okay, so we get Al captured at the beginning, running, you have her being dragged and that whole bit. We have the helicopter leaving. We get the intro sequence, which is cool because you see the intro Fear the Walking Dead, and then the helicopter kind of flies off, which is kind of cool. And it's kind of neat that they put this in Fear the Walking Dead, which gives us more information. And that's probably the best thing about the episode, is that it gives us more information with Al and her persistence on getting information. So they used Al in her kind of what is her strength, which is journalism or getting the story, to kind of get some of the story about the group that has taken Rick so that it makes sense. We don't get official confirmation that it's called the Commonwealth in this one. She doesn't say that, but based on the costumes and the way that walkers can't bite through it, we at least get confirmation that the armor that the helicopter group or the Commonwealth, if they're evil in the TV series universe, are wearing with the black suits, the walkers cannot bite through them. So as they're wearing these suits, if a walker happens to kind of come up out of the ground or come up somewhere and chow down, we get to see that it doesn't go through, and the suits do in fact protect them from walker bites. Maybe the best kill of the episode was the door kill, as Al kind of slams the door on the one walker's head and kills it. KIA payload secure, and then they're going to send in a reclamation team, which is basically we get the sense that it's a bad it's a bad thing. It means probably a team is going to come in and clean house and kill everybody around, or do a sweep and basically destroy everything, something like this, in order to make sure everything is secure. She gets the tape back later, so the question of tell me and kind of the back and forth of the information. We get the fuel drop. And stories will be all that's left. So she tells you to put the jacket on. You've got the rock slide on the car after Al gets out of the car, which is okay. We get the jacket bite, like I said. We get the tape in the story and the bog. So you kind of have something for Isabelle to remember. Al bye, because I guess it's this long lost love idea now, right? to never be reunited. I can't imagine they'll be reunited at some point, maybe, but kind of. I don't know if we'll ever see that. If they do some kind of big crossover or something, then maybe we could, but otherwise, probably not. So doing my job, the rock climbing with zombies, and they kind of go into a little bit that if someone is to want to leave or decides to leave, then they're ordered to kill each other, or they have to kill somebody. So sort of like a secret, like a Mason or something, like you join and then a secret society, and then if you want to leave or tell others, then they'll kill you and stuff like this. And one of these type of ideas, right? This type of thing, security breach, that kind of idea. If you become a defector, then they put you down. So that's kind of interesting. So we've got Happy falling, or Isabelle when she falls down on the cliff, and then Al kind of clips them in, and then she kills the one walker that's hanging there. Purifying water, nobody walks away, so there's that. So you can't leave, right? Operational security, and that he had to die, and so then we get the helipad and the chopper. So she destroys the tape. It's bigger than us. So the Commonwealth or the helicopter group is an entity in and of itself that they're feeding into through their job and through what they're doing, and it's kind of its own self-sustaining entity, which is interesting, right? So then you have the vulnerable, you have the beer, right, that they drink, and then after. And so the turnaround scene, like I mentioned, and she decides that she wants her to live. and then she warns her, don't chase this story, and Al actually lies to the others at the end by not telling them what she saw and telling them her last name and that kind of stuff, but lying to them about what it was that happened during that time. She acted like she was just chasing some zombie or something of the sort. So, and that's pretty much the episode. So certainly a different type of episode. I'm going to give it a 7.2 out of 10. I'd say that, I enjoyed certain parts of it. It's definitely not one of my favorite episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. It's definitely not an episode that's geared towards me as a fan, as a viewer, right? So there is an audience for this type of thing, I think. And it gives us some info about Rick and about the helicopter group or the Commonwealth, and how kind of secretive they are and why they're kind of this entity that's out there that in the original Walking Dead series we see the helicopters, we see the stuff with Jadis, but we never really kind of get any information about it because it's a hard group to get information about. It's very secretive, it's very secure, it's very sealed off. So, and they even have protocols in place if there's some kind of security breach or some kind of information out there, then they send out these reclamation teams or whatever to clear out and make sure there's no leaks in their group's security. So, I'd say I somewhat enjoyed the episode. It was an okay episode for me. It was focused on Al and Isabelle, so you didn't get to see Morgan and Alicia until the very end, and you just got to see them for like a minute, one scene, and that was basically it. So I thought it was okay. It cleans up for us what's been happening with Al, where she's been since the episode where she was taken, if that was the premiere, the second episode, whatever it was. It's pretty good stuff, and now we get to see Al back with the rest of the group. So she has not been taken to the Commonwealth. She will not cross over to the movies, so far as we know. But you do have some kind of a connection here between her and Isabelle, which could be later expanded upon, I guess, if they want to. But it's kind of tricky to do because, as Isabelle informs us, once you get involved with that kind of group, you can check in, but you can't check out, right? So that's what it is. So those are kind of my thoughts on the episode. I didn't hate it or anything, but I didn't love it either. But again, I recognize that I'm not the target audience for this type of this type of thing. The most beautiful thing I've seen is at the end of everything. Grown. Grown. Okay, whatever. It's cool. Romance and stuff like this. Gay romance, whatever. Anyway, that's it for this review, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new, subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for my predictions for episode 6 and what I think is going to happen there. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.